30. He separates. He's to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Florida State. Warwick done on third down.
Winky looking Winky. Wants to throw the knockout punch to Warwick. Warwick open. Touchdown. He does a touchdown. He did catch it. Touchdown, Florida State. Oh, Peter Warwick, how'd you do that? Kermit Whitfield to the left side. A hole to the 30. Kermit Whitfield to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, FSU. Kermit Whitfield, a 100-yard touchdown. Here's the snap. Winston rolling right. Throws the pass on the other. It's caught. It's caught. It's caught.
For the end zone battle. Coleman. Touchdown.
We're doing it for everybody. We're doing it big all over the country, all over the world. And I'm proud. I'm proud to say I'm a Florida State Seminole.
Gar and Old live from Fishweir Brewing Company, Vince. Another great time here at Fishweir Brewing Company Saturday, Wake Forest at noon. And how excited are you?
I'm always excited for a game day, Ryan. We were hoping that this game would be a little later in the day and hopefully enjoy a little bit more cooler weather. But it's a beautiful day today here in Jacksonville, Florida, in the Murray Hill area.
Come by and see us.
Come by, yeah. I mean, Fishweir, we've got we're just getting started here. People start to trickle in here in a moment. The game's starting at noon for all of our Garnet and Gold and Garnet and Old fans that are in Snuggy Hill today.
Yeah,
make it happen.
Vince, why don't you show some people what Fishweir looks like? I know we're not open yet, but why don't we give them a little tour around? It's a beautiful brewery.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much more to say, and that this is the place to be. I mean, the bar, I mean, how many spots you got here at the bar? 15, 20, 25 spots at the bar. You got a bunch of tables here. We also have the TVs bartenders everywhere. Here, TVs everywhere, and sitting right in front of us, we get to watch the game on a big screen here with the projector. And let's just also say that we are also partaking of some Garnet and Golden Ale. Oh, you're actually having a cider today.
Yeah, cheers, Vince.
Oh, you're going over here.
Cheers. All right, so Vince, a sleepy nooner against a sleepy opponent in Wake Forest. Snuggy Hill is going to be probably not lit, I wouldn't say.
No, the opposite of lit, actually. Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, Wake Forest, all black, doing a blackout game at noon.
That's on.
No. And Florida State is playing in all white today. White helmets, white jerseys, white pants, Garnet cleats.
So I do actually appreciate that, and the fact that you'll be able to see a clear difference between the two teams when they're lined up, black versus white, which will be really easy to watch. One thing that's interesting today, Vince, we don't have confirmation of this, but I do not think Wake Forest, technically they're the backup starter. He's not even going to be playing, so I think we're going to be seeing Wake Forest third-string quarterback today.
Yeah, he is Paisan. I believe his name is something to the effect of Santino Mariucci or something like that. So I do. Hey, my brother, my Paisan, I don't need you to play well today.
Now, Vince, we have some injury stuff going on. So far, this isn't confirmed, but on the field we have not seen Johnny Wilson warming up. We haven't seen Hakeem Williams, Destin Hill. So we got some injuries, which we knew about coming out of practice. The good news is you got Keon Coleman. You got Jordan Travis. If you got those guys, we'll be fine. The offensive line, pretty healthy. A defensive line, perfectly healthy. So I'm not really concerned.
No, the injuries that we have, I mean, is nothing out of the ordinary that we haven't already known about. We didn't think Johnny Wilson was going to play this week anyway, because he got dinged up, and really there's no reason. If we look back on this game, Ryan, and we go, man, I really wish we would have had Johnny Wilson in this game, then other things have gone wrong. So Kentron, haven't heard his name a lot this season. Hopefully we'll hear his name a lot today. Darian Williamson. Jaheim Bell. Jakai. We have plenty of weapons where Johnny Wilson could spend the day on the bench, get a little further along the health path, and not too worried about it.
Let's get down to brass tacks, because, Vince, this game really comes down to stopping the Wake Forest slow mesh offense. Now, in the past, last year you had A.T. Perry on the outside. You had a dynamic quarterback that could make things happen. And so it was a really effective offense because all they're trying to do is get one-on-ones in the passing game and then the slow mesh to see who crashes and who doesn't, and they play based on that. Now, when you have those kind of athletes on the outside and a dynamic quarterback, it works really well, and they beat us. But when you don't, and you're on your third-string quarterback, you really have one receiver that's worth really anything. It's going to be a tough day at the office, I think.
It is, and if you're the Wake Forest staff, you have other goals. I mean, your goals are not to make the ACC title game. Like, your goals are not to make the playoff. Your goals are to make a bowl game. And if they play the quarterback, Mitch Griffiths,
yes.
Mitch Griffiths, that's not looking forward to what's coming up for them. I think they're 4-3. They have 2 more games to win, and they have some winnable games coming up on the schedule. I don't think it's smart of them, if he's even contemplating it, to play the quarterback. They are going to have a tough day at the office. The third-string quarterback is not Hartman, and the quarterbacks that they've had in the past, like you said, they're no longer there. And Wake Forest, aside from the injury standpoint, has really suffered from the portal.
They have.
A number of their better players have gone elsewhere, and this is not the Wake Forest team that Florida State fans would go, "Oh God, Wake Forest again with
right.
slow mesh." This is not the same kind of team. So other than the noon game lack of energy, which is a real thing, I don't know that I'm concerned.
No, I'm not concerned. This situation is actually strikingly similar to the Duke situation with the quarterback last week. However, Duke has a real chance to make the ACC championship game. And so I think they thought that they could beat Florida State. And I think that's why they decided to start the quarterback last week. I don't think Wake Forest is in that same position. You look at the rest of Wake Forest's schedule, pretty manageable. So I'm thinking that we see that third string. And then, Vince, when it comes to being scared,
it's Halloween.
I've never been scared of Wake Forest, to be honest with you. It's just that last year when we played them, even though they had a better team last year, overall, like health-wise, we were absolutely destroyed on the defensive line. Everyone was out for that game. Jared Verse was on hobbling on one leg. So it was one of those situations, perfect storm last year.
Agreed.
This year, I really think they're running into the strength of this FSU team, which is the defensive line.
Yeah, and when you talk about the defensive line, Fabian Lovett hasn't been the name we've been saying a lot, and he was like the key to it all.
Yeah,
last season. Other guys have started to grow. Josh Farmer, right? Malcolm Ray's had some great games. Brandon Fisk.
I love his motor, man. It's so fun to watch.
So, and just in this last game, though, you've seen Fabian Lovett start to emerge a little bit. So get all that going. Yeah, I mean, the defensive line is healthy as it's been, and which does not bode well for the Wake Forest team.
Yeah, I can see this game starting off slow because let's be honest, Wake Forest wants to burn clock. They want to bring this down to a one-possession game at the end. You look at the Wake Forest win over them; it was 17-10. I think Clemson beat Wake Forest. It's just one of those games. Maybe. They want to bleed the clock. They want it to be the end of the first quarter, and it's only 7-0 Florida State or something like that. Keep it as close as possible. So what you have to hope for is that because of the strength of our defensive line, we get them quite a few 3-and-outs. And when we get 3-and-outs, we capitalize and score. If you can have one of these games, Vince, in which you get a few 3-and-outs quick and get up on them 21-0 in the first quarter, the game's over.
Yeah, there's not much to play for from that point. I think they're just trying to, somebody in the podcast realm, one of our folks that we listen to a lot, kind of likened it to a boxer. Just get me to the corner. Just get me to the corner. Get me through this round. And I think Wake Forest is probably going to play it that way. Don't get me wrong. Every team's trying to win, right? But at some point, the limitations that you have, whether it's in terms of the actual talent on the team or injuries or what have you, you have to kind of look to the future. So I think if you get ahead, 21 points or whatever, I think you're going to see a lot of clock running from both sides.
There'll be those frustrating moments when Wake is annoying us with the mesh. It's going to happen. Just be prepared for it. Don't freak out and think that the defense is, not good or, Adam Fuller's having a problem. The mesh offense is annoying. It's very similar to how Georgia Tech would run the triple option on us for years. Even if we would win or blow them out, it was still annoying to play and prepare for. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to not see Jordan Travis run that often. I don't think we'll see that.
He shouldn't. Speaking of the triple option, I was watching Georgia Southern just beat the tar out of Georgia State the other night. They honored Paul Johnson at that game. And I think there were some limp handshakes all around.
Yeah. Did he stick his tongue out when he was walking off the field?
I didn't watch it that closely. But congratulations, by the way, Georgia Southern. Hail Southern. GATA. Congratulations to all the fans that were there at that game. They hadn't beaten that team in a number of years. And so it's a rival. And this is not the Georgia Southern podcast, but I have to give the shout out.
And Vince, I'm a little bit more bullish on this game on the Gar and Old Show every Thursday live at 7 o'clock. I predicted 55-10 as the final for this coming week, and I'm standing by that score. I think you went 38-10.
No, I think it was 42 maybe to 14, I think was the score I gave for this game, and I'm going to stand by that as well. We haven't heard any new information that would cause us to change the prediction.
Yeah.
But I think what you started to talk about in terms of like, hey, don't worry if some things kind of go a little awry. No game is perfect. No team is perfect. No play is perfect. Just know in the end that you're going to see the score that you want to see.
I hope that it does turn out to be a better overall performance than the Boston College game last time we were here at Fishweir Brewing Company, because it started off so positive in that game, and then we were sweating near the fourth quarter. But so hopefully this game at when we come on to halftime, which by the way, everyone, we will be doing a halftime show and a post-game show. So you'll see those post upcoming events maybe 5 minutes before the halftime and 5 minutes before the end of the game. You'll see the events pop. But join us because we're going to hopefully be talking about another win.
How do you know when a Garnet and Old is going live, Ryan? How do you know?
You have to like and subscribe.
Oh, there you go.
It'll tell you upcoming, and like all of you who are watching, and we really appreciate it. We were hoping this game wouldn't be a nooner. We were hoping for 3:30 because, listen, let's be honest, we're in a bar. So later would have been better just because, getting out and partying. But listen, last time for the Boston College game, this place was packed. So kudos to the owners. One of the best FSU watch party bars probably I've ever been to. They play the music after touchdowns.
They do.
They play all the first downs music, and you can hear the game. Sometimes you go into other bars and grills, and all you hear is like the crowd noise, and they have all the games muted, right? You can hear the broadcast. You can hear the commentary. You can come here and watch us live, and they broadcast it in there. So they're doing it right here at Fishweir.
They really are, and because the owners are Knowles, they understand when to play the school songs. I mean, it's almost like being in Doak sometimes, right? Speaking of, we are going to have, I believe, a small contingent of Marching Chiefs alumni here. I'm looking at one of our Marching Chiefs alumni right here. So we're probably going to have a small pocket of those folks here, too, to play some of the school songs. If you are in the Jacksonville, if you're anywhere within an hour's drive of Murray Hill, why are you not here if you're a Knoll? You're not in Snuggy Hill, right? Very few people are in Snuggy Hill.
Yeah, not even Wake Forest fans.
Very few of their own fans are there. So why don't you come here, come hang out with us. A great selection of beers and ciders and whatnot, and a lot of restaurants here in the area as well. So maybe you don't have a plan today. Maybe you should come here.
I will say this. After the Florida State game, stick around at Fishweir. Watch Florida, Georgia, and hate watch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want to get into that again. I was already in a back and forth on social media on who we should root for in that game as Knowles. People do whatever you want. That's all I got to say.
Vince, you got to stay off the X.com. We got to get you off there.
Yeah, I got to get back onto MySpace.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Vince, any final thoughts, final words before we sign off for the pregame show?
No, I think that's a good kickoff to the game here. Everybody enjoy the game, cheer loudly wherever you are, and we'll see everybody at halftime.
Hey, go Noles! Send the Chiefs all the damn time. You almost forgot.
I almost forgot.
Because Vince, hold on real quick. They sent out the survey of how people rate the game day experience at Doak, and the number one thing, the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked, but it was nice to see that graphic. The Chiefs were at the top of the bar graph of the highest satisfaction thing of being at Doak Campbell Stadium was the Chiefs. We should take that on the road.
And with them raising our ticket prices astronomically in the coming years,
$80,000.
They should be able to send the Chiefs all the damn time.
At least one or two.
But everyone, I hope you have a great watch party here at Fishweir Brewing Company if you're coming to watch it here locally. If you are watching at home, you know what? Join us at halftime. We'll cover the game, hopefully a win, and then we'll talk more at halftime, Vince.
We'll see everybody